money is a interesting topic because a lot of us don't really actually talk about it because it makes us feel uneasy, uncomfortable. There's a lot we don't know, and sometimes we feel like we're inadequate because we don't know so much about money and personal finances and budgeting and investing and all these terms that people throw at us. And it kind of is one of those things in society where it's not often spoken about, but it's such an integral part of our life and our lifestyle. It has the ability to act as a tool to enhance our lifestyle and to make our lives better. And it would be crazy and foolish to say that money doesn't matter. So what are these money secrets, right? Money secrets, I call them money secrets because these are the things that people don't know, and it's often not discussed. And one of them is consumerism, right? We live in a consumerist culture, a consumerist economy, and a lot of it is driven by corporations trying to make an extra dollar in order to increase the profit margin so that their investors and stakeholders get more money and their stocks go up, and obviously they make money and profit, and it's good for the people on top, and it probably doesn't really matter if you're an employee because you don't get stock options for the most part, right? So the money secret here is they want us to continue buying, right? They have a motive. They want us to continue buying, whether that is for Christmas, whether it's for the holidays, right? Whether that is for Mother's Day, whether that are diamonds for a wedding, right? All these ideas and the schemes and marketing schemes behind all this is really driven because they want to make money. And I get it, right? There are so many things that are bombarding us from left and right, telling us to buy this, buy that. We need to buy this for the holidays. We need to buy our friends this present because, you know, it's going to make them a lot happier. But we got to ask ourselves, like, what are my personal goals? What are your personal goals for your financial journey? And I say that because if you have no idea what you're aiming for, what your goals are in terms of your finances, or do you plan to retire at 65? Do you plan on working the rest of your life? Do you want to make an exit strategy? Do you want to retire early, right? These are some of the questions that we want to be asking ourselves, and it's going to inform us what our next steps are. Like, do I actually want to spend over $1,000, $2,000 over the holidays in order to try and impress someone? What are these random societal, culture that we have created where we have to be gifting each other things? And I'm not saying like, you know, the gifting culture is messed up, but in a lot of ways it is, right? You feel a little bit of pressure to do so. And it is because of all the ads and the marketing, and we're going to talk about more of the psychological factors involved in some of the tactics that companies and corporations use in order to get us to buy things, right? But at the end of the day, right, you got to understand what your goals are. What are my goals for my future? Do I want to retire early? And I think that retiring early is such a blessing, and that comes from a position of power, right? And that comes from a position of power, of understanding finances, right? Your personal finances, budgeting, investing, all that good stuff. And if you're if you're interested in learning more about investing and some of the basic tips about investing, definitely check out the video that you're going to see up here. Okay. And that's the thing, right? There's just so many things that are influencing us in this society. And I'm going to talk about some of the marketing strategy behind this. Having worked in the corporation and having been a software engineer where I coded some of these applications, a lot of it is ad driven, right? Advertisement driven. And we have complicated algorithms, right? Step-by-step processes telling what this code to do for the apps that we use, right? We're talking about apps like Uber. We're talking about apps that are, everyday apps on your phone that are driven based off of the activity that you do, right? Whether that is the clicks, what you're clicking on, what you're viewing, what you're watching, all that is tracked via cookies, right? You probably heard of some cookies, not the ones you eat, but these are, we can call them devices that track your activity so that we can use this information in order to inform the application and the algorithm to better target you with ads, right? So these are very sophisticated. When these marketing strategies are integrated seamlessly into everyday things that we do, we don't even really notice it, right? The ads that we see on YouTube, the ads that we see on our television, they are based off of the clicks. They're based off of the things that we watch on a day-to-day basis, especially with AI and the amount of data that is being inputted about all these touch points, right? Data points, we call them. And these data points are basically about you, right? About you and what you like, what your interests are, what your hobbies are, and all this is being tracked, right? So privacy is gonna be a huge thing going forward, but right now it's the Wild West on the internet, basically, right? And having been and worked in the technology industry, I understand that data is the new oil. Right, this information is being used and sold to companies so that they can better market, better target you, and you don't even realize it. And it sort of like gets you onto this hamster wheel where you're scrolling on Instagram, you're scrolling on Amazon, and you're just buying stuff. And another thing is probably influencer marketing, right? They've made this into a niche where they're using influencers in order to target you. So, you know, the likability of the people that you follow. And, you know, sometimes if you believe in the product, great, but sometimes you just fall into the trap of like, hey, this person that I've been following for many, many years now, they told me to buy this, so okay, let me go try it. And that's exactly what they want, right? They want you to use these products, and this is based on a familiar face, right? It turns a cold approach into a warm approach, a very warm approach. So yeah, these are just some of the things, right? They use high pressure sales tactics, you know, time-based hacks in order to make you feel like you're missing out, right? There's only 24 hours left until the end of the holiday, so that you better get this for 30% off and stuff like that, right? So there's a lot to it, and being aware of it is actually one of the tactics in order for you to start keep more of your money so that you can reach your own personal finance goals. And that's the money secret, right? You have to be more aware of your surroundings, aware of what is being used in order to influence you in order to make more purchases and to separate you from the dollar, right? The dollar in your pocket. Because trust me, there's a lot of stuff out there and they spend billions of dollars doing this. So there you go. Okay, so actually it's snowing here in New York City right now, so I'll give you guys a little looky look. All right. Sorry, let me set this camera back up here. Okay, you know, I should do this more often. Okay, look, one of the other money secrets that I personally have been thinking a lot about recently is the hidden cost of things. What are the hidden costs that I don't think about? And we're not talking about the price tag you see, right? If I go and buy an iPhone and it says $1,000, right? Sure, $1,000, but what are the mental costs behind it, right? The peace of mind. Like, am I going to scratch the phone? What accessories do I actually have to buy? I have to buy the screen case to protect it from getting scratched. I have to buy the actual case in order to protect it when I drop it or eventually throw it in the toilet, right? And those are some of the things that sometimes we don't think about, right? And maybe a better example is a house, right? A house, you know, we purchased a house, we probably have to take out a mortgage, and we have to pay a crazy amount of taxes via taxes on, well, the property. We have to buy title insurance, we have to buy actual insurance in case the house burns down. We have to buy all these things, and then not only that, we have to actually fix things up, right? Because if it's an old house, you're gonna have to fix it up. You're gonna have to make sure the roof is maintained. You're gonna have to make sure the lawn is trimmed if you have a lawn. You're gonna have to make sure you don't get your stuff stolen. So you might have to get some security cameras, and then you look around and you see empty walls, and so you start buying stuff. You're like, oh, let me get some artwork at the local art, farmer's market or whatever. Not farmer's market, but what do you call those things? Art show, whatever, right? So you start buying all these things, and then you start realizing like, wow, it wasn't actually the price tag of the house, but there are so many things that I didn't even consider down the road, right? And not only that, I always think about what's the peace of mind that you have when you rent a house or you rent a place. You don't really think about it too much because you don't own it, so you're more concerned about, oh, this place is just a place where that I live. Yeah, that's the mental aspect of it, right? You're not really it's not just the dollar amount that you see and the what you actually spend, but there's so many extra costs. And realizing that and being aware of these hidden costs is going to save you a lot of headache, because it's going to help keep you aware and keep you focused so that you keep more of the money that you earn, right? You earn with your life force, in a sense, right? You spend a certain amount of time at work working so that you can get this money, and then you take this money and you use it in order to purchase goods and services and stuff like that. So it's like being cognizant and being aware of what you actually spend on and how you spend, and things that are, I call them second order effects, right? Not only what you purchase straight up, right, when you exchange money for a good or a service, but what are the extra second order effects of what you're purchasing, right? If you buy a boat, you have to maintain it, you have to pay for a docking fee, you have to worry it's going to get destroyed, you have to worry about where you actually keep it and all that stuff. So these are just examples, right? These are examples of hidden costs that we don't really think about. So why talk about money? Right? And I say that I talk about money because it's a tool. It's not for something for you to increase and enhance your life and your lifestyle. And this is what this channel is all about. Like, how can we live the most fulfilling life possible? When I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I knew nothing about money really. And it was really a fascination that bloomed, because I was like, whoa, like how I talked to a mentor, and the mentor was basically telling me that, hey, if you want to live the life that you really want, you're going to need money. And he was very matter of fact, right? He was like a business person, and he had a lot of money, and he was living a really good life. And he said, money matters, right? And I get it. There's a lot of people that say that money don't matter and stuff like that, but we all know that money does matter, right? But it's about how you use it. How do you use that money? And that requires discipline. That requires all these things that, you have to build over time, right? I didn't get more money smart until a little bit later, when I was, in my late 20s and 30s now. But it's something that you have to continually work on and continually learn. I hope you got something out of this, and definitely like and subscribe. And I'll be creating more videos like this, where it's just like sort of like a free flow format. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and whether or not these money secrets are resonating with you, and maybe there's something I missed. All right, peace.